please put your hands together. God damn it, that's not good enough. I said put your hands together. That's right, keep it going for Robert Rule.
Thank you. So, I went to a party recently, and for the first time ever, I passed out drunk at someone else's house. Now, when I woke up, I was a little bit freaked out, but I calmed down when I realized that no one had drawn a dick on my face. But I got kind of mad when I realized that someone had drawn a face on my dick. How could they? As you can probably tell by looking at me, I'm not the type of person who ordinarily goes to those sorts of parties, and I definitely didn't do that sort of thing in high school. I wasn't the kid who was always being invited to keggers to get drunk, and that led to me being kind of naive, because until I was in college, I thought that the word crunk meant to get fucked up on crack and alcohol. I was sorely mistaken. Anyway, I was watching football recently, and I found myself wondering, do you think the Washington Redskins coach refers to his bench as the reservation? So, despite the fact that I spend most of my nights on a stage like this trying to get people like you to like me, I actually come from a very functional family. My family's the kind of family that if all families were like us, Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, and Dr. Phil wouldn't have TV shows. They'd be Walmart greeters. My family's the kind of family that if every family was like us, Eminem would not be a rapper. He'd be a lawyer or a children's book author. Or he'd have some job that's more fitting for a guy whose first name is Marshall. My family's the kind of family that if all families were like us, foster homes would simply be where people named Foster live. My family is embarrassingly functional. I say embarrassing because growing up, I could never relate to the other kids at school. Because they would say stuff like, "Oh, my dad's such an absent drunk bastard. He only ever comes home to throw up on my GameCube." Or my mom is a crazy bitch. Last night I wanted to go out, but because I was grounded, she told me that if I left the house, she would call the police and tell them that all the clothes I was wearing were stolen. Or my stepdad fucking hates me. He burned me in effigy at the family barbecue last summer. What was I gonna say to that? Holy shit, guys. I went to a baseball game last night with both of my biological parents, and my mom ate some of my french fries. Can you believe that bitch? Like I said, I couldn't relate to them. I realized that my family was extra functional because it occurred to me that we get mad over the dumbest shit in my family. For example, in another kid's family, if his father got mad at him, it was because he was born. And any hopes that Dad had of becoming a professional musician were ruined. When my father would get mad at me, it was because I won 3 games in a row of gin rummy against him. Another difference between my family and other kids' families is that in other kids' families, their own parents would withhold truths from them for their entire lives. Like who their biological father is, or why they haven't seen their creepy Uncle Stevie at the last 3 Thanksgivings, or what really happened to their dog when their mom's boyfriend took it for a walk and lost it. The only truth that was ever withheld from me by my parents was the fact that I sound like I'm half man, half goose. And believe me, high school would have been a lot easier if I had gone in knowing that I sound like Chewbacca if he could speak English. And also knowing that kids would tell me I sound like someone shoved penises up my nose. All right, I'm Robert Rule. You've been fantastic.